Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cozy Gamer Jessa, and in today's video I'm going to be planning, designing, and decorating my villager neighborhood. And if you wanted to skip ahead to the decorating part, the time will be listed down below, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I did was pretty much look at my map, and I already cleared a spot in the top left corner where there's two levels. And I already cleared all the trees, all the flowers, pretty much all the weeds. And I'm gonna start by terraforming the area to a shape that I like. And I also sketched out how I want the neighborhood to look at the end. And I'll put it on the screen so you can look at it. So I pretty much knew I wanted to have at least 3 houses on the top level. And then the rest of the houses on the bottom level with a lot of trees. And I wanted the road. And I did want to put a park underneath, but also I'll probably put the campsite like within the park, but that's for another video. So subscribe if you want to see that video where I designed the park / forest and campsite. So right now I'm just terraforming the cleared out land that I had in the left corner of my map, and I found that it's much easier to terraform this way in like lines when you're doing like such a big area, so you're not constantly hitting corners or like rounded edges. So that's what I did for the majority of this area. So I'm just going to do the same to the bottom layer, because the bottom layer is also too big for the 3 houses that I wanted, and it's not the shape that I wanted. So I'm just going to do that real quickly, and then I'm going to map out where I'm going to put the houses. So if you're going to make a neighborhood like I am now, I do recommend that you use the terraforming tools to use the path and mark out where you want the houses, so you can really visualize it on your map. Like I did right here, I just marked out where I wanted to put the houses with the dirt path, and now I can see it on the map. And so when I go to place them down, I know exactly where they're gonna sit and where I should place them down. Also, I left some room for a staircase. I'm probably gonna do the brick one because it matches my brick road path pretty well, and it just blends in really good with that. Okay, so other than the terraforming, moving the houses is probably the most time consuming and tedious task, because you have to move one, time travel, move one, time travel. So I'm just gonna start off by moving Paula's house, and then just go from there and start moving everyone's house slowly over here. So I've been putting off doing this neighborhood because I know how long this project would be. In total, it probably took around 4 hours like of just sitting down and doing it. So just keep that in mind for when you want to do yours, to like have enough time, you know, set aside, or, you know, do it multiple days, because the terraforming alone is very time consuming, and then all the time traveling you have to do is just kind of crazy. But hopefully after having the neighborhood all squared away, I can start building other projects and the houses won't be all in the way, because right now they were like on the beach and some were just blocking a big portion of my island, like scattered around. So it's for the best that I did this project now, so we can continue on with the rest of the island and not have to worry about moving 1,000 houses. So quickly, I'm just placed down the staircase, and I'm gonna pay it off immediately because we're gonna be decorating soon and I need to have that built, so I'm not using the ladder the whole time. And I'm just gonna place down the rest of the houses, and then we'll start decorating and laying down the path. Alright, now that we have all of the houses placed down, I'm going to time travel to the next day, and that's when I found out that Axel wanted to move off the island, and of course I'm going to let him move off the island, and I'm going to go villager hunting before I finish building this neighborhood and decorating, and I'll be right back. So that will be the next video that I do, is going to be the villager hunting. So subscribe if you want to see that video next week. And we're going to get back to building and decorating. Alright, so as you can see, pretty much all the houses are moved into the neighborhood area that I already terraformed. And I'm going to start by placing down the road, and I'm going to try to have it connect up to the Able Sisters and Nook's Cranny eventually. Just like my other build, it's going to be the same road path. I'm going to be using this road path pretty much for the entire island, so it's all uniform. And I'm going to put sidewalks up to some of the houses that are on the bottom level so they can have bigger yards. The ones on the top level are going to be a little bit smaller yards. But I do have plans for some cute decorations that I can place on top, like a lot of trees and like the pumpkin starts. I also do want to give like a little bit of a wheat field to Rodeo's house, just because I really want to use the scarecrow item. Also, I would like to apologize if the voiceover is kind of echoey. My computer has been moved into an empty room. I haven't moved yet, but I am in the process of packing and moving, and I pretty much have no furniture, so my voice is like bouncing off the walls, so I'm sorry about that. Anyways, I pretty much have all of the road path placed, and I'm gonna put a dirt path up to Rodeo's house. And if you're interested in any of the paths or like codes that I'm using, they are gonna be linked down below in my Pinterest board. Most of them should be there, and if they're not, just let me know and I can look it up for you. So I had this idea to alternate the dirt path with leaves and the just normal leaf path, just to like break up the path a little bit so it looks like it's like completely covered in leaves, just for some more fall aesthetic. Anyways, this is pretty much all the path work I'm going to be doing in this build. Just have the sidewalks and the road, and then the dirt path going up to Rodeo's house, and then the rest will pretty much just be decorations and flowers and trees. So I'm going to start by placing down some street lights to light up the place. Also, I would like to mention that I did have to time travel a little bit without like spoiling the next video too much. I did time travel, so that is why the lighting and the day has changed and Bo's house is moved. So anyways, I think it looks better anyway because it was kind of gloomy in the last couple clips. So just like the main entrance that I built earlier, I'm gonna be using these iron garden benches just so it's like uniform. That's why I'm using like the same colors with the benches and the streetlights. And I'm pretty much gonna line the neighborhood with this iron fence. And I'm also gonna do it on the top layer too, but not as like extensive as down here, because this is gonna line their little yards that I'm gonna decorate later. Just like the pumpkin patch, I'm gonna alternate the two dirt paths right in front of Rodeo's house, because I'm going to put a little bit of wheat, like some of the wheat starts in front of it. I'm also going to place some wheat fields on the other side of his house, and I just put this barbed wire fence right in front of it just to separate his yard from the other two yards. So throughout this video you can kind of tell that I am decorating, like going back and forth between houses, and I've had a hard time like focusing on one house in particular and finishing the whole yard. So right now I'm just up on the top level putting in the fencing for the three houses up here. But this is one of the builds that it's like trust the process. Like it might not look that good right now, but at the end it really does come together. It's just all over the place. Anyways, so I'm gonna put a little bit of a pumpkin patch in between these two houses, and This house to the right used to be Axel's house, but then we had someone else move in, and for some reason it messed up with the path, but I will eventually fix that later. So moving back down to by Kyle's house and Rodeo's house, I'm putting down my picnic blanket code, and I'm just gonna make a little picnic area right next to Kyle's house. And I'm also gonna place down some more leaf codes pretty much like all around the place, so it just looks like there's more leaves on the ground. And I'm gonna be placing a bunch of the cedar trees down. I think that's what they're called, but that was my vision for this area, to have pretty much just cedar trees lining it, so it looks like Rodeo's house is a little more tucked away with trees. I am planting new trees because I really don't have that many trees on my island anymore, because I went crazy and kind of cut them all down. So I have to plant all new trees and then just time travel to make them grown, and hopefully there's enough room that they do actually grow. Alright, so we're back up top again, and this is where I was going to put the pumpkin patch, like where I put the dirt paths alternating, and I'm just planting some new pumpkins here. And I planted a couple different colors, so I really didn't have any like picnic supplies, so I just put down a tea set and the antique radio because I thought they might look good. I might have to change it later on if I get any like better items, but right now I'm kind of limited on what I have and what I can use. So to add some height to this build, I am gonna be adding some trees like behind the cliff of the second layer, and also I just placed down this silo, so when you look up you'll see that. I like when there's like different heights in builds, so it's like a nice skyline, I guess is what you would call it. So while I was building this, I did have a little bit of a creative block, and I wanted to decorate Beau's like yard right away, but I was so unsure of what I was gonna put there. Like I went back and forth a couple times placing things and then getting rid of them and just looking in my inventory. So I ended up just going up to the top layer and placing down items that I like 100% knew that I wanted up there. And that's what I'm doing now. And later on in the video, you'll see that when I time travel to grow the trees, some of them don't grow fully or at all because I actually placed them too close to the houses. So if you do notice that, I apologize, but I do end up sort of fixing it like after the fact. And I knew for Cookie's house down here on the bottom that I did want to have like a car or like a moped or something, and her yard is kind of the biggest and ends up having the most decoration, even though Cookie is only temporary on our island. So throughout this build, I'm going to be adding a lot of the pumpkin lanterns and the pumpkin towers just to like, you know, add some more Halloween aesthetic, because it looked kind of more fall, and I did want like the neighborhood area to be like somewhere you would go trick-or-treating was my idea. And I was even thinking about maybe getting a candy code and placing it on the ground so it looks like someone spilled their candy on the ground, and like placing the little candy buckets. So I know that you can buy candy from Nook's Cranny right now, but I've never actually played on Halloween in game, so I'm not really sure like how or like what the gameplay is for that day. So I might play on that day and like record a video of what to do on Halloween in Animal Crossing. And if you're interested in watching that video, or like you have some insight on what happens on that day, just leave a comment down below and subscribe if you're looking forward to that video, because I'm very interested to know why you need to buy all this candy, and like if there's a trick-or-treating like aspect to it, because I know there's like other holiday events like Turkey Day and Christmas, and I think New Year's too, but I never really play on the holidays for some reason. I'm just always like building and decorating really. I feel like I'm kinda a noob at Animal Crossing because I don't really like play any of the events, I guess. but there has to be other people that just really decorate and like design their island, and that's like why they play Animal Crossing and not for the events. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably trying to get inspiration for your island, so maybe you're one of those people. Anyways, on a different note, but very similar, I'm really excited to actually get all of our villagers on the island and finally get rid of Rex and Paula, because I really want to be able to decorate my residents' homes, and there isn't any point in decorating their homes because they're only temporary. But I really hope that they decide to move off soon, and that's why I was so excited when Axel wanted to move, because I wasn't really expecting anyone to want to move, but I guess it kind of makes sense because I time traveled like 7 days in a row without talking to anyone, so that's why they decided to move off. But maybe I'll do it again, and hopefully Rex or Paula will have the thought bubble. But once I do get all my desired villagers, I'm gonna decorate all their houses kind of the same, like at least on the top row, so it's like a suburb. You know how all the houses are all the same? That's kind of how I pictured it would be, is all of them would be the same color and same roof and all that. But the other houses will probably be a little bit different, like the ones on the bottom. But they will still have a fall and autumn theme to them. So right now I'm just adding in my finishing touches, which is pretty much just flowers and like leaf piles, and just making sure that I got everything where I want it to be. The neighborhood isn't as like cluttered as I would like it to be, but I'm just very limited on items, and we'll probably add on to it in the future. But with that being said, if you have any suggestions on to make my neighborhood look more full, or just make it look a little better, just leave them down below. I'm pretty open to any suggestions that you have, and I'd really love to see what you have to say. Okay, there's like 2 more items that I really wanted to include in this build, and one of them was this arch, and also I wanted to put the toy dog by the doghouse because I think it'd be really cute outside of Rex's house. I mean, eventually it'll be someone else's house, but outside of Rex's house right now. And I'm gonna time travel a couple days, and I'm gonna show you around and give you a little tour. Alright, so it's another day, it's a different time, and I think it looks so cute at this time of day because the sun just like makes everything look so golden. But also it probably would look really nice at night, like in the dark, because of all the little pumpkin lanterns that I placed down and all the little lights. But I think it came out really good, and most of the trees did grow. Some of them in the back did not, and a couple up top didn't grow, but I'm gonna have to move those another time. But it came out really nice, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're looking forward to seeing what videos that I put out next. Alright, bye!